It's still dark. Oh. Just depending on the day. Depending on the day. How is everyone? It's because it's so dark outside. It's like there's no sun whatsoever. Yippee-ki-yay. So let's go ahead and try to pull this over a little bit more like that so that you can see me so I don't look like death. How's that? Yeah. So I did take a shower, just letting you know. I'm trying to do a better job showing up. It's still early in the morning though, so no makeup. No makeup. And but I made progress, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. How's everybody doing? You're right. I took I smelled together, at least. I smell like I got it together. I don't stink. Okay. The weather's wonky. It's one of those things where it's like, it's spring, no, it's not. It's spring, no, it's not. And it's spring. Like, when you've got like really cold weather, but the pollen fountain's still up, and you're like, how does that even work? I don't understand. Okay. I need to replace my water here soon. Okay. Alrighty. So I put open-ended today because I've been having this vision, I would say, in the last 2 days, but especially yesterday, where it's like I caught something out of the side of my eye a little bit, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden it looks like I'm seeing something where a bunch of people are just rushing, like a busy office where they're just going and doing, and nobody's sitting down. Everybody's rushing, kind of like you see in the movies sometimes where people are just, but it's it's of a different world. Can I just say that? They look human, but it's reminds me of the movie Beetlejuice, when the family that passes and they go over, and so they end up they go to meet their caseworker, and it's busy, where she's at, and she's got the football team there. It's like that, only they didn't look like zombies. It just looked like a bunch of people going, and then it was almost like it was like seeing into somebody's spirit team, or the spirit side of things, right? And it's they're rushing around for something. They're doing something. Everybody's all hands on deck type of situation, and people are doing something. I don't know how to explain it. Everybody's rushing because they're it's a last minute something. Something has to happen last minute or something. When there's a deadline. That's what I'm trying to talk about. I'll get my words. And I'm like, okay. And then sometimes they'll pass by and they'll see me, and they'll just keep going, and they'll they look. And they're and everybody kind of checks in, would check in, and then they just kept going. I was like, okay. And then on one of the times when I saw it, I was just like, what is, I was peaceful, quiet, just sitting there, I'm watching everybody else, and there's nothing for me to do. And oops, at one point, I have a stupid thing that keeps trying to, when telemarketers and stuff. Anywho, so I get this one that finally stops and looks at me in the midst of everybody else rushing around and stuff, and is like, "You good?" I was like, "I guess so. I'm fine. I guess. I guess I'm gonna have to." It was one of those things where I was like, "Why are you asking?" They're just checking on me, and then they go about doing it again. And it's so this morning. It felt like I had one more, and it was one of those situations where it was when you do something stupid in a room full of people, and then everybody just kind of turns and looks at you, and it's dead quiet, and you're like, don't look at me, that kind of thing. It was like that. Not that I did anything stupid or anything else like that. I was just talking to myself, and I look around, and I have another little vision, and it's they're all just they just stopped dead in their tracks, and they all looked at me, and I'm like, what do you know that I don't know? You know what I mean? What do you know that I don't know? What's going on? Why is the tension on me now suddenly? I don't know what it is. And so I try to get to like, okay, is there gonna be anything today? I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be able to come on. And it felt like, okay, this will work out. Timing is just gonna be right. I got my shower in, I got plenty of time. I'm like, okay. And it was almost as if it was like, when you kind of like there's no real agenda. And I just kept hearing open-ended. It's just gonna be open-ended. Like it's to me open-ended from social work is like an open-ended question, where you leave it open for someone to take the direction and the answer that they're going to give. It's not a yes or a no, so it's not like a one or the other type of scenario. But this felt more like, let's have an open-ended conversation, like a conversation that doesn't have a specific intent when you go into it. It's just, almost like we're having coffee. Let's go for some coffee. And I was like, okay. So that's what I put, and this is what we're doing. I don't know if what was happening is going to play into this or whatever, but And just so you're aware, I might start sweating again because you know me. My eyes look like they're just so. Oh, it's called allergies, people. But I did the spicy honey again. So there's like peppers in my drink. So to burn a little bit just to help open up the blood flow and everything. So you know me. Sometimes when I do peppers, I sweat. Yay! I don't know where I'm gonna go with this, guys. I am waiting for some kind of direction, and it feels so chill. It's like I'm out of the loop, which is what it felt like with all those little visions. Like, okay, like what is going on? Like when when a couple people stared and looked and walked past, it's almost like they were like, she could see. You know what I mean? Like almost like she's here. Like I stepped through a veil or something. Like when you astral project or something. Like I was taking a peek, and people weren't anticipating me being they're focused. They got something to do, and they'd walk by like what's she doing here? And they just keep going. They couldn't stop until that one person checked on me. You good? It's like they were fine. They were like, it's okay. It's okay. She can be aware of everything that's happening. She can see what's going on with us. Like they were so fucking focused on something. And it was like, I don't know. Like I was peeking through the veil. Maybe that's what we get to do today. Maybe we're gonna get to peek through the veil on what's really going on. And any other time, Spirit's like doesn't give us everything. You know what I mean? Doesn't give us everything. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, let's peek through the veil and see what's, and they're just like, whatever, she's fine. They might act a little surprised, but they're like, oh, she's here, and eventually they're so used to it, they're like, you good? Okay, peace out. Like they just keep going. I don't know. And then this morning it was like, I don't know, like me talking to myself, like they're not used to someone just setting up camp over there and they all stop and they're looking. But it felt like something important was about to happen. Like they were just sitting on, like they were watching and waiting. I don't know. Maybe somebody broke through the veil. I don't know. Weird. Where do you want to start, Spirit? Where do you want to start? Messenger Oracle. I was having those really crazy, weird crown chakra feelings yesterday too. Stop. I wonder if LP is going to join because his number's up. He was telling us yesterday all about his number. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We've got surrender to the flow. I don't know where this is going, guys. Surrender to the flow. Be patient. And follow the moon. So with follow the moon, it feels a lot like something having like using the power of the moon in order to manifest. It feels like somebody who utilizes and taps into. And so this would be like somebody who either spends time stargazing and soaking up like the influence of the moon, or who actually does moon rituals by the moon. It's like asking something and then receiving the feedback, which is so weird to get. It's like the moon is like, I'll show you the way. This is weird. Of course, today we would be weird. Surrender to the flow is 44, by the way. That's a number that's been showing up and following, along with the ladybug, which is all about a lot of good luck. So it's literally like just allowing things to occur, like following the current, which is influenced by the moon, right? And there's a level of being patient. I don't know why. I don't know why these are coming out. I don't know why they asked for that deck. I'm just going with it. I'm like, okay, dokie. One of those weirdly detached energies. Having those lately. There's question about money here. But the way that it feels is somehow like, this is really weird. I don't know if this even matches the other cards. I'm sure it'll come together, but it's like there's this question of what to do with money, where to put it. Okay, we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is almost like how much do I hold on versus how much I can spend, how much can I give away? Because it talks about being too frivolous or too cautious with money, but then also like it's like the extremes of what to do with it, and how to use it and how like where to put it. And then it's like good business decisions. It's like, how do I manage the money? And then it's like giving to less fortune. It's like, how much do I keep for myself? How much do I spend in regards to building up a business? And how much can I give away? There's all these questions about money here. And then it says, seek out professional advice, which I feel like is needing help, like having to have someone help you with the financial aspect of something. Like when you get the money, not knowing exactly the best way to like make the money work for you, kind of a thing. And then there's like hiring somebody, like getting someone to help you. And then it literally says victory, good news is on its way, recognition and awards. And at first I had these two like this, and I wanted to lay it like this. And then I kept going like, should I put it over here? Should I put it over here? But I think what it is we've got awards, success on its way. The kind where you may not be used to. Somebody here is used to getting money and it like leaving just as quickly as it comes. And there's always been a question of, am I managing it wrong? And it's like almost like being in such depletion for so long that you can't help but indulge. It's like, you know, a person who's been starved for so long, or who hasn't had, gosh, I got something in my eye, who hasn't had water in so long, and so then they're guzzling it down. But you have to be careful about how you take water in, and like it. It's like you drink it so quickly, that it's already gone again. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're just, and so like there's been a question of where is it gone and why is it gone so quickly, and realizing it was never really enough. What you got was you've been between the extremes of like feeling like being too frivolous with something because of the circumstance that you were under, and then also being too cautious at other times, feeling like the dynamics of it. Like having these extremes of experiences has kind of tarnished your relationship with money a little bit. But then again, I feel like this drought you've been through almost puts you in a place where you're like, instead of this idea of it being frivolous with it, you see it for what it is when you utilize it for yourself, which is sustenance and self-care. And there's like it's not just spending it for the sake of spending because you've got it. I think that somebody here has been in that place before where they took it for granted that was always there. It was always the energy behind in which you utilize the money, and how you, whatever you did with it. Like the energy really wasn't, it's almost like not recognizing that money is energy. It's an extension of yourself. And so when you were so willfully blind as to how you spent it and didn't really think about what it was doing for you, it's like there wasn't a gratitude for it. What, like, you just, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think that there was an intention behind that, but there's this energy also of like also allowing fear to dictate. And it's like whatever energy you put behind it is the energy the money took on. And so there's this sense of having been in that drought for so long, when you spend it, you recognize like there's a gratitude for being able to get the things that you want, and but not a fear where you hold back. I don't know. There's this weird thing of like, I'm going to take care of me. Like where I direct this money matters. And it may have been directed in places and things that didn't fulfill you, that didn't take care of you. It's okay to have luxury. It's okay to have, this is the kind of idea where it's like, like buying stupid TV products and stuff on TV that was never did anything for you. It was like junk. It was just junk. It was like there was no real intention behind anything. And so you're, even though you had it, you felt always depleted as a person, right? Like you didn't take care of yourself. You'd spend it on this person. You spend it, like your intention behind the money is different. Your awareness of it, your appreciation of it, but you're also not in such a scarcity fear. You're like, I deserve to to have the money and to spend it on myself and to blah 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 blah. So there's like a consciousness about what money is and what it can do for you. Um, and how your energy towards it impacts it, and it impacts your relationship with it. And so there's this idea that you're going to be coming into it now, and almost like the drought that you had was intentional because you were not conscious and intentional before. It was the type of carelessness that no one benefited from it, and there was no gratitude for it. And there just was always an expectance that it would go at some point. And there's a sense of maybe money coming in because we're talking about something where it's like, not only is there something for me, but there's a way for me to grow it and build it, which is business, like good business decisions. Like, how do I manage this so that it can continue on? I think you wasted other opportunities where money came in and you could have done something with it to keep you sustained. It's that Six of Pentacles energy that we had in a couple of readings where it's like the whole point of that is it's your turn to receive. And it's like, if you do well with this, if you use it appropriately, you can become and arise to the type of position like the person or the entity or the situation that gave to you, right? Because in the Six of Pentacles, there's somebody is giving you a hand up, right? And instead of utilizing that to continue to grow and invest it wisely, because investment looks different. Like maybe you used to like you were like, I just want to get out and do things. And so you spent your money on going places and doing things that really weren't nourishing to you. And it was more about the activities that you did and paying for other people and da da da. It really didn't do anything for you. So investment is like maybe investing that in you, like getting you back to a place of harmony, and feeling nurtured and like your cup is full and that kind of stuff. Like investment is going to be different for everybody, but I feel like there's various different levels. I feel like this is saying not being too frivolous, not being too cautious either. It's like I'm spending this, and I am more than willing to put it towards things to help me feel good in life. You know what I mean? Like little luxuries and things like that, and taking care of myself. But I also know that I want this to last and I want it to grow. So then you're like being very intentional with what you do with it and seeking out advice and like, but also getting yourself to the place where you're like, am giving like it, like I don't know how it was, but your energy is not very, they just want me there. You were never intentional with your money before. And I do want to say never. Whatever you're coming into is putting you into a place where it's like you honor that energy exchange more, the resource. You know you have to put it out there for it to come back to you. It's a much more balanced, appropriate, conscious approach to money. You're coming into money where it's like, and you're going to seek the appropriate advice and guidance from professionals on how to set this up so that it works for you, but then beyond you, it works for others as well. It's like, I don't know, there's this sense of like, you're not going to have to worry about it being taken from you like the other times, which maybe is the reason you didn't have a lot of care and concern towards money. it seemed like just an object. It didn't come off as an extension of you. It wasn't something that you funneled your energy into. It just was. And so now you're able to, you're coming into a place of being able to have enough money where it's like, you're just more intentional with it. You're conscious and you see it as an extension of yourself. And money is how you direct your energy in some respect. And so it's like, you're choosing to go about it so much more wise, and you're going to grow it. And it's going to be, like, there's just it's a lot of good news. And they want me to focus on, because it says public recognition and award, but it's like an award. But I don't feel like this is like limited to what we would think of an award. Like, oh, I entered into something and I got an award for something, and so therefore I came into money. It's like you're awarded something, you're afforded something. This could even be a job. You were awarded a job, but it's a victory of some sort. I don't know how that plays into the others, but we're going to figure it out. I didn't mean to grab this, but I guess I meant to. We had something like this yesterday where it was an inkling of like, I remember giving the example. God, I can't stand when I can't remember everything about a reading. I'm like, it was just yesterday, for crying out loud. I gave an example of, how I'm like people win the lottery and like they seek out a way to put it into a trust rather than accepting it themselves, because in a trust the tax laws are different, and so you'd have to find an attorney that can help you navigate that kind of stuff. It's like, I get the feeling of like there's a level of professional assistance, even if like it was a contract, right? Like, it's like, get somebody that knows how to really read the contract and understands legalities around that and the wording and the blah, 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 or that kind of stuff. Surrender to the flow, be patient. I think be patient has everything to do with you being more conscious and aware and intentional with how you maneuver when like there's a money opportunity coming in, and it's like there may just be money coming into you. Like, maybe you're going to enter into a contract, and part of it, like, the level of money that you will get from this contract is like, here's the thing. There's always going to be somebody that's had more than you, right? Even with whatever comes in, but it's more than you've ever had. And you kind of need to sit down and really think about where, like, prioritizing, where do I start first, right? Like, what do I need to do, and where's the most appropriate place, right? Let's say going and getting an exceptionally expensive apartment because you're just somewhere, I want to stay in the nice neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but you don't have a car, you don't have this, it's like, it's figuring out, it's being more conscious with it, it's seeking out advice. But I remember yesterday something about getting, like, always, like, don't do it with people that you know. Don't allow certain people to have access to your energy to influence how you approach something. And so that's where the be patient is. It's almost like, God, we might want to be gung ho about, oh, now I'm in a good place. I want this, I want this. And it's like, hold on, let's be more conscious. Hold on. Maybe what you need to do is get a car and an apartment and, clothing for your new job. So let's not be like too gung ho. Like, I feel like the gung ho needs to be about accepting something, but what you do with it is like requires just a little bit of patience, right? Because maybe what you did before, that's what you did before. When you got money, it's like you're like, it's, you're guzzling the water because you were just so parched. And then you didn't have anything for another 4 days. And you're like, shit, I probably should have spaced it out. Yeah, like there's this sense of like, okay, so, and they just took me on that tangent really quick. I'm gonna clarify this because this feels like the same thing. Okay, here's the thing. There's like mental conflict for you that's going on, and I'm asking about what. And I think it has to do with whatever's either on offer or whatever's coming. We got the Ace of Pentacles, clarifying the Five of Swords. It feels a little bit like a hem and haw type of energy. And here, let me explain to you. We have Five of Swords, Queen of Cups, which goes with the moon, like following your intuition, following that inner guidance, following. It's like this is the answer to something that you attempted to manifest, and the moon is answering you, and it's like going with the flow, going with the current, going with your intuition, like this deep-seated knowing. So we got the Queen of Cups, then we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Queen of Wands. And it's like there's this need to, the initial energy is like this, like mentally being conflicted, but like following your inner knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Queen of Cups has a deep-seated understanding of her intuition is well tapped into and on point. She's also exceptionally nurturing, and she ensures that her cup is always full. The Ace of Swords is a completely new trajectory, new path. This is following a truth, right? So you're following your intuition, which means following your truth. And the Queen of Wands, to me, yes, it's all about like attracting something, but it's really staying in your power, and it's standing in your passion. I want to say passion. So that's why I'm like, okay, but why is the defeat here? This shit don't make no fucking sense. And they're like the Ace of Earth. So I'm like, you're in your head about money. You're in your head about this opportunity. And I feel like I'm like, but we fucking had this conversation already. So I clarified another one that I pulled was the Judgment card. It's like trying to figure out where this, like, what is at the crux of this fucking confusion? Is it like a level of disbelief that this is going to come through? Is that where this is stemming from? Like the knowing before it gets here and the belief in that, and your history of turmoil in your relationship with money, where it's either I either am so parched that I end up spending it because like I got so destitute that I had so many things to replace and so much to catch up on, and then it's gone before I know it, or like the whole like then I'm just without it for so long that I create a fear with it. My relationship with it is just shit. Is it like you're like hey, be patient, good news is on its way? And then it's like, okay, there's a level of answering the call, the judgment. It's like the final decision. And I'm like, is this a decision you have to make? Like what? Like because at this point I'm like, damn, is it just a decision for you to choose something, or is there something else involved in this decision? Because why would this keep coming up? Like that's what I'm not understanding. I don't understand why this is continuously something coming up. Oh shit. Okay. We have the Three of Wands with the Three of Cups. Three of Wands is your ship's coming in. It is finally getting back that it's like feedback on something that you've attempted. There's a reason to celebrate. There's a reason to your ships are coming in. The two of these together. First off, the Three of Cups is also about abundance. It's like your abundance is coming in. It's coming in. It's coming in. Okay. Judgment is also like I don't get it. Is this like the amount of money or what the amount of success you have with whatever this is that you're about to have is a level of success you've not had before? Like you never had to really plan with your money because your money was always spoken for? Like there wasn't, you made just enough to like, okay, these go to these bills and I got this much left over. And that's to be able to have just a little bit of fun. Like there was nothing you could ever really do. Like, are you confused? Because you're like, I don't know what to do with this much money. Are you afraid to get used to having success and having money coming in and feeling supported by the universe? Are you afraid because you think it's going to be pulled out from underneath you again? Because we got the Six of Wands, it's success. Six of Wands again. Which we had Six of Wands before. There's some money increase that's attached to whatever this is. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles, please. This is really weird. Okay. I'm not saying this can't happen. I'm just saying, and maybe it's because my human has never been in this position, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't fucking know. There's like a fear or there is a anxiety or a sense of like the amount of abundance or the amount of, I'm just going to say it, like somebody has an opportunity, whatever it is, or something's going to happen, and it's like the like what it affords you. See, not everybody's gonna have a mat. Like I get. Like I'm always like the spirit. I read for the common folk here, okay? Right? And it's like spirits like everybody's common folk. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, true, but then again, not true, okay? Because not all of us are going to. And I understand the whole notion and idea that, abundance is limitless and everything. But we live in a society that it's self-evident. Not everybody gets the same equal size of the pie. And the probability of a lot of us, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, but the energy of something. And it's like they're trying to introduce something. And maybe it's just my hesitancy to try and go there. Because, like, we've got the Eight of Swords. We have it. Give me just a second. Okay, Eight of Swords. I was like, I can't fucking stand this shit because these cards sometimes fuck me up. This is not the Six of Wands again. This is the Six of Pentacles. It's the leg up. The thing we've been talking about this entire time. It's the stuff that's coming in that you can grow. Because you get to be in a position of being the one that has the influence, the authority, the resources, that kind of stuff. Which only makes more sense with this, but then again, it doesn't, because it feels very grandiose, and I apologize. Maybe I'm just feeling into the disbelief of whoever this is going to be for, because it's a little like, that sounds so soap opera, telenovela, like, woo, movie, fairy tale shit. Because we have the Eight of Swords, which is like feeling really like a self-imposed entrapment, like being caught up really in your own mind for no good reason. It's not at the level of anxiety, but it's like feeling like you're just like, ugh. And then we have the Universe. And this is like feeling defeated before you ever attempt something, or it's what it feels more like is like someone really being concerned and scared or conflicted about an amount of money that's on the table. What something can do. Like, do you feel guilty? You know what this is like? This is like the person who has felt like they were meant to live a luxurious life their entire life. But because they weren't very intentional with money, because they didn't recognize that it was an extension of their own energy, and how they direct the money was a direct reflection on how they direct their own energy, and how they treated money was exactly how they treated themselves, and all that kind of stuff. And so, you're going through life wondering why it comes and goes so fucking quickly, and like it was fleeting, and you try to grasp onto it and go through your hands, and then you're all of a sudden you're just like it's never going to happen. You go through this big drought period and everything else like that, and you go through a transformation, like your lens, your perspective, and your understanding, and how your desires and your wants change throughout this period, and all of a sudden it's like now you're ready to receive this type of luxury, because what you would do with it and how it would benefit you. Like, there's people that live in a luxurious lifestyle, that don't like conceptually they understand that they should be grateful, and that things really aren't that hard, but they are not in a position to utilize it to its best, um, and for their own good. It's like they're so unhappy and they are so depleted and their cup is still empty, and it's like there is a reason. It's like there was a reason it's coming in now. So whatever you imagine as far as, we all have those like, oh, if I had $1 million, I'd buy blah, 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 blah. This is beyond it. This is like someone who pictured a house that had a big front porch, right? And they've always like wanted to sit on the front porch, and like they imagine having luxury of time to be able to do that, and like, not have to have worries filling their head, whether it's about people in their lives or the money or the bills or the da 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 da. Like they don't have all of this stuff consuming them. And so it's like, it's a very awkward, weird place when you've lived your entire life. You take somebody from poverty, and it's like, sometimes, and they suddenly get into wealth or into a stable situation, and sometimes they either exist in the exceptionally cautious, and so they're still constantly in fear of money and losing money, and that dictates how they maneuver and everything else like that. So they're not as giving, they're not as, or they're super frivolous because they want to. You've seen the people that come into money and they just give money away to the point where it's like it served no purpose because it really didn't help anybody out in the long run, because nobody is better off for it. You depleted the funds, you don't have any more, da, 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 da. And so it's like this waited to come in so that you would treat it with the respect. So you treat yourself with respect, so that you would, like, you had to know how to wield your energy and be a master over your energy, so that you could then be this masterful person with abundance. Like abundance is energy as well, and how you wield it fucking matters. And we know the people, and I think that's the reason. It's like there's a change that's meant to happen in a collective. When we're talking about the world, a change of the balance of power, right? The way that the people who have power and money direct, treat it, wield it, it's exclusive. It's, other people don't get to have access to it. There's never enough. They've got to have more. They've got to have more control. They've got to have, like, you may have thought money meant you get to have control over your life. And it was like you associated money with control because you've been fed that through society, but also like through your own trauma. And it's like the transfer of wealth, the transfer of abundance needs to occur, but before it fucking can, the hands of the people that it's meant to go into, their shit needs to change. You cannot exist in the same energy as these other motherfuckers, either being constantly in fear so you hoard, or being constantly like too frivolous so that you don't direct it in the appropriate places. Like this. Like money is a divide instead of something that's meant to bring together. Like it's this thing that it's a us and them type of situation. That's how money's been used. And they're like, guess what? Nobody's getting nobody's getting the good shit until you change the fucking energy. That's what it feels like. And I know it sounds really dramatic, but it's also really smart. Like if we're looking at a new earth or a new way of operating in this existence, and it's like, then guess what? The transfer and things like that don't happen until we take a different fucking approach. There needs to be more of a consciousness of how it feeds your soul and how it is a part of your energy, but because it's this ever evolving, like you send it out, it comes back. You send it out, it's this thing, it's an energy exchange. And how money is used and where it goes and how it grows and its importance will not change until the energy we start putting behind it changes. Because the energy we put into the money, then when it goes out into the collective, It permeates. We've got to change the energy behind it, period. And it starts with the fucking individuals. You're approaching it the same way you were taught. And we ask questions like, what do you mean I have money issues and in my relationship with money and da da da? And no one ever thought about that, did you? You didn't think about how you're really just doing the same thing as these exceptionally wealthy, greedy motherfuckers on a micro, minuscule level, individual level. You're treating it the same way. And you think because, no, I would really cherish the things that I would get because of money. It's like, that's not the point. You cherish those things. But are you grateful? Do you put the energy of gratitude behind it? There's just this feeling of I don't know, I've never had this before. And that's the only conflict that I see. That's the thing that limits you. And I kind of want to keep going to the whole idea of like somehow like that's what you need to target, or that's, like this is how you feel before or something. And they're like, no, it feels like when money comes to you. I will say, like the freedom, the universe card, the world card, it's more than you've ever had before. It puts you into a position that you haven't had access to before. And the difference between now and a year ago, 2 years ago, a decade ago, is that's the whole point. That is the whole fucking point. You would be so much more conscious and aware and intentional, and the gratitude you would have now at receiving it, and how you would nurture money. A lot of people don't nurture money, and how you would, all of that is different. Your attitude before was, oh, yes, I got money. Now I can do da. It was very egoic. You were happy to have it because it satisfied the ego. It kept the ego quiet and happy. It's like you take the idea of having this amount of money as a privilege, a right, like a responsibility. You just approach it differently. There's a level of reverence for what this can do, for the energy exchange, for what this affords. It's the hand up that you've been praying for. If I just get this, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and da. And it's like, it was all, before it was intellectual, it was a thought. You had made a decision mentally, but your energy wasn't one with that. And now it is. Like getting money would satiate your fear. But you didn't necessarily, I feel like somebody's going to get emotional. You didn't necessarily feel like you were worthy of it. Because there's something about, they're bringing me back to the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. You are firmly planted in your intuition. You are at one with that, and you allow your heart to lead. You are also in alignment with your truth. It's like the trifecta. You know what I mean? It's like my heart is in this. I'm standing completely in my truth. I'm executing things from my truth, which is the Ace of Swords. And you're in the Queen of Wands, standing in your power. You know your worth. You are well rooted in self-worth, confidence, in your power. It's a different place than you've been. Okay, so I have two questions then. I have a question on, we need to explore the patience. Let's make sure, because I did get a little bit of like, well, it required patience to get to this point, but it's also a matter of like, once it comes in, you going, I'm not going to respond the same way I have before. I'm going to be smart about this. And we did pick up on it a little bit yesterday, but it's like, there's not like don't tell everybody everything. And then I want to know about this Eight of Swords energy. I'm gonna Night Sun Tarot or Sun Night Tarot, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry, they're bringing me back to flashes of the things that I saw, where it's like a preparation for something, like we're at the down to the wire with something, and there must be a level of trust because you'll be able to see through the veil, and you're witnessing and watching this frenzy of energy, this frenzy of work behind the scenes, this frenzy of something. Obviously, there's a level of patience on your part because you just sit and wait, and then someone checks in on you. And then they stop and they look and they watch to see what you're going to do. They're playing the Taylor Swift song. Everyone in the room, they stop and stare. All eyes on me. God, like this feels so like something is like an elephant on my chest. Like it feels like something is hitting the heart space big, but it's like I can't expand my to breathe. It feels immense. Okay. Like the we got 3 of Wands, the 2 of Cups. It's like whatever's coming in was always meant for you. It's now in alignment with you. And it comes in because you're following your truth. We've got the Page of Wands with the Hermit. I'm trying to figure out where this is different. Like, how is this? Okay, how does this relate to patience? Like, what is the point of the patience? I feel like this is the quietest I've ever fucking been on any reading. Like, there's a lot, like, it feels quiet. Like, like when they were staring at me, it was like dead, like nobody was moving. Like the hustle and the bustle and the frenzy had stopped. And I'm so not used to it being this quiet. We've got the 9 of Wands, which is like, that level of strength that it took to get to this place, like having to fight through and pull through something. To continue to believe you were worth something, that you were worth this, like to hold on to what you knew you deserved. Okay. I get the feeling, I'm getting the feeling of like having to hold your own against other, like, greater, bigger systems in play. Okay, because we got the Hierophant, which is all about institutions, and then comes the 9 of Wands, and so there's this level of like making it past the institutions that are in place to keep you down. Because this is the 6 of Swords again. This is that tireless journey and trek across from choppy waters to calm waters. This feels like institutions, structures in place that you've had to I'm getting the feeling from people, like, this is having to go to the lengths of like getting help. This is like going to organizations, government institutions, getting help with food, getting help with medical care, getting help with whatever else it is, like, paying rent, like having to, like, this is like institutions, but it's almost like some of these same institutions that are meant to help also are created in such a way where it's like it keeps you trapped, because it's like if you make over just $2 over this, you get no help. And so then, if you get $200 more a month, if you do remotely better $200, then you lose $800 worth of help. So you're actually worse than what you were. It's almost like this sense of entrapment. Oh, Eight of Swords, entrapment. Oh, and you may have fallen for this. Oh, shit, I get it. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Whatever this is, remember I said it puts you in an amount of money you've not had before, and you fear losing. You've had like these things and people and places and institutions and family members and everything else like that was there to help you. You had to, like, your ability to maintain your self dignity while still having to constantly ask for help. Like, it got low for you, and these things were here. Their entire intent was to get you to a place, supposedly, where things get better, right? Like, these weren't meant to be permanent, but you're afraid to leave those behind because you're like, what if I'm for worse? Like, whatever this does, it elevates you to a bracket that it's like you don't have safety nets anymore. You won't have, and you're like, will I be better off? That's why you're afraid to get this money. Holy shit. That's why you're in your head about this opportunity. Okay. Like, you're afraid you're going to lose the safety net. And so you're like, is getting the world better? Like, you're asking yourself, will this, okay, whatever comes in has to be enough to propel you so much more ahead than where you're at, that the loss of any help and support that you've had up to this point, it makes up for, and then some. I don't care if this is people, like, you're afraid to move forward because you're like, I've always, at least, like, if I go to another country, I always, I won't have support from family what if I can't make the rent? What if I get laid off? What if this happens? What if that happens? I suddenly don't have my safety net anymore. Then what? That's why you're scared. You want to follow your intuition with this, but you're not, like, there's a question of, yeah, it has you up in your head. And they want you to recognize how that's also a part of your relationship with money. That somehow it is a controlling factor rather than something that elevates. Address that. Look at that. You see the element or the energy of control, influence, but negative influence and control. You see disempowerment being associated with, and so you're treating it as such. When you live in fear of getting money, because you may lose money, so someone's afraid of losing the safety net, the structures, and everything else that's been in place. You've had to weather it. You've had to be really strong to be able to utilize it. But Spirit's like, the whole point was to get you to this place where this is on offer for you. So you don't have to rely on that. Like, whatever's coming in, the Six of Pentacles is meant to get you out of that. and put you in the place where you get to be the one to help and assist others. So why are you worried? Like, I would think that surely what's on offer, you'd know immediately how much you can make from that. And that you should be in the clear, you should be good. Have you just always been in a place where you've always had to get help from other people? You've never been in a place of pure independence and autonomy from others? It's what you wanted, but have you never really ever been there? 111. Tell me about this page of wands, please. Okay. Oh my God, what did I just fucking say? What did I just fucking say? So this page of wands, that's like a new project. That's like a new passion. That's like a new something to put yourself behind. This page of wands will give you the 9 of pentacles, that independence we were just saying. You're afraid of independence. Oh shit. Because then it's really all on your shoulder. Like, you don't got no safety nets. You don't got no safety nets. And it was really great when it was in your mind as a fantasy and as a dream. And you're like, you keep working towards it. And then it comes and you're like, now I'm scared shitless. Because, oh gosh, it's time to walk the talk. So the 9 of pentacles, that level of financial independence, that's what the page of wands represents. And then we have the strength card and 2 of wands, the strength to take action towards it, the strength to choose it, the strength to go forward with it. It's going to take strength. Because what if what's on offer has money from the get-go, but then has potential to grow, and you're like, what do I do in the interim? What do I do when I hit just enough where I don't have the safety nets anymore, but not enough? Like, how quickly can this grow? Like, what if I hit that spot and it makes me worse off? Shit, fire, save the matches. Okay. Okay. Whatever is on offer. Let's just leave this at a very basic understanding, okay? We won't liken it to like government institutions or anything else like that. Although in the US, it really matters. Like, medical care here costs so fucking much, it's not even funny. People are afraid to make so much they can't get help with their insurance and stuff like that, right? Like they're like, oh my God, I need like people who have disabilities, they're not allowed to make over a certain amount of money because then they don't get help from our government. Like, it's that kind of shit. It's terrible. They are put in a position where they have to fear making any kind of money, or they lose help for their disability. Chew on that one for a fucking hot minute. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And then we have the Judgment card again. You may feel like it's a gamble, but this has everything to do with a very specific, again, it is focusing on a particular area. It's a skill set. It is the Eight of Pentacles have been coming up over and over and over again. It is like the opportunity. It is the thing that you invest in, that you have been investing in. And it is choosing to do that. It's you equally choosing it. Like the fear I feel in my chest right fucking now. And then we have the Ten of Cups and the Lovers. Again, choosing. You're being called to do something very specific and you have to choose that. Like it's a choice. Ten of Cups is like, you have no clue how fulfilling this will be. You have no clue how abundant this is going to be. I don't know. It feels like whatever you're going to go into creates an abundant situation for more than just yourself. Shit. Let's talk about that situation a little bit more. So there's a fear, and it's more than you're used to. It's more, you're like, I don't know how to do, like, I don't know. It's like when everything is then on your, like, you don't have a safety net and you don't have either people or institutions or anything else, like you wouldn't qualify for any kind of help. You really have to make sure that you're intentional of where the money goes. And maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're so fucking afraid of being that fucking independent. Do you not have faith in yourself? Spirit obviously does right now. But I guess it is a little scary if you've never lived on your own before. I'm kind of knock that one out. Oh, yay. Yeah, I knocked that one out. I'm not going to do that one. Well, somebody's definitely elevating, somebody's definitely moving, and somebody's very scared of that. You're not going to have your, whatever maneuver is going to be required is going to take you, it's going to take you in so many places, but it does take you away from your fucking safety net. It takes you away from the only home you've known. I don't know why I want to say that. This could be like the town, like you're used to, you've got support there. This could be, shit. Like if you move to a different country, it's like, certain countries, it's like, you're not eligible for help and assistance in certain, what I mean? Like there's just, it's a new fucking job. This is also like elevating your level of security and stability though. Whatever this is, it actually elevates your sense of security, your independence. It is a job. Somebody's getting a job. Somebody is going to be offered a fucking job. There will be a contract involved. Really soon. Holy shit. Oh my God. We have the gift and the wish card, the distant horizons. This is your dream coming true. Like it's like a dream. There's a level of awkwardness and fear because you've not had this before. So you're like, I've never had to hide the fact that I have this kind of before. I didn't have to be worried about people like wanting to take from me. I was always the one that needed the help. I've never had to, like manage this level of whatever. And it's like, I've never had to worry about true budgeting. I never had to like shit. Like I've always been able to rely on people, and that kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're getting what you want. And you're going to elevate beyond those fears. So let's see here. Is this something that's coming to you? Because like I keep asking, like, is this something that somebody needs to take action after? Like I could imagine this playing out for somebody who's afraid to go after a job, like a business where it's like, what if I start like I don't know. It's like if somebody wants to up the game in their business and they start making more money, sometimes making more money makes you make less money. You know what I mean? Because the costs that are associated with it or the support that you lose, maybe it puts you in a different tax bracket. So you lose certain deductions and you're just like, oh my God, like you don't know if you want to do this. It's like, because whatever it is, if you go up any, you have to go up. Because there's a compromise. And maybe that's the part of the Eight of Cups for some of you. The Eight of Cups is letting go of that security blanket, letting go of the safety net that you have with whatever you've got going right now. What if I move to this other town and then shit doesn't work out? You're being, it's the Eight of Swords. You're being entrapped. You're being imprisoned by your own fears. Courthouse, all about legal documents, contracts, things like that. It would be someone extending an offer, that kind of thing. A job offer, like it has something to do. There's a level of agreement. There's a level of a commitment. There's a level of follow through. It's a little scary. Whatever's on offer is a little scary, and it's going to require you to let go of that safety net. I want to say that you're really wise. I've got the mature woman, but this is giving me like Queen of Pentacles energy where she's like, she can handle it. She's got it all. You're good. Like you're going to be able to do it all. You're going to be able to handle it all. Like there's not a fear of like, just because you don't have a safety net, like you've got this. Because we also have it with the thoughts card, which is all about like planning, organizing, structuring, executing, that kind of thing. Like you've got this is what I want to say. I just got the Jeffersons theme song. Moving on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Some of y'all in the other countries don't know that it's an 80s sitcom. Jeffersons. Moving on up. It's found finally time for your piece of the pie is how the song ends. Okay, let's see how this is going to pan out for several people, because let's do that little thing where we do at the end. Good God, it's 1:25. I'm sorry, guys. I know I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Luckily, y'all just been chilling and listening. This keeps wanting to come out. Is this an offer coming in? Let's ask that first. Is this an offer coming in? This job offer? Is it like a job offer coming in, going to be presented? Or is this something that this, like, there's certain things we can do that we can pursue, like starting your own business. So that's why I'm asking. I'm just asking. I'm like, is this a job that's on offer? Somehow, whatever this job offer is, or whatever this work is, has somebody concerned about losing housing, or there's a concern about housing. We've got poverty and then a home. So if you've been concerned about losing your housing, you have a job coming in. If getting a job, like certain government programs that help pay for rent, you get a job, you lose your help and assistance for where you live. And so you're concerned about that. Like it's a concern. It's a fear of yours. It is a fear. So there's a fear, one way or the other, even if you're having to move. Like, how does this impact where you live? Like, there's a fear on how whatever's coming in impacts where you live. And in each scenario, it talks about your support system, whether it's, support for, maybe you're afraid to move. Maybe you're like, I don't want to move where this opportunity is because I lose my support systems. Maybe you're like, if I get this job, then I will lose the support I have for my housing. And then you worry, will I be able to afford housing? Like, there's a concern there. And I don't know why it feels like it's a concern when this thing arrives. Like, that's what sends you into the Five of Swords. And that's why I'm like, why would you be concerned about this? And you're in your head calculating. And they're like, don't let that fear dictate how you maneuver. Because we've got the Queen of Cups, which is following your heart. The Ace of Swords, following your truth and your new path. And then the Queen of Wands, which is following your passion, standing in your power. Fudge cakes. Full stop. That's the message here. Period, fucking point blank. Somebody is very message of concern. The decision card. Adjudication. It's like resolving an issue, or like there's a decision you have to make, and it's very concerning to you because you feel like you're going to miss out. You feel entrapped by the idea that you might have to miss out on something. Like you're afraid something's going to be taken from you. And it's understandable given the state of the world right now and finances all across the globe. When like in the United States, they're fucking with everything right now. Like, I swear to God, they're like, let's hike interest rates. And then they're like, we need to put people out of work so that we can bring down the inflation. Are you fucking kidding me? And people already can't, like, people are fucking fearful. So to trust and have faith and give up all your security blankets, knowing that people are losing jobs left and right, and that money is an issue, inflation's going up, people aren't buying. Like, why is this the time to take this or go after this? Like, do I really want to give up my security blanket in a time like this? And yes, the recommendation would be to yes, because the indication is that you will. And so they're saying it'll just require you to go with the flow. You've manifested this. Follow your intuition. Be patient. Seek advice. There are people that can help you financially. Like, there's someone that can help you. So that when this comes in, you don't lose it. Okay? Like, my heart. Holy shit, fire. 11:22. It's almost like that hole where everybody stops. Feels like they're waiting for you to make the decision. I wish I'd have paid attention to what I was talking to myself about, because it's like maybe that has something to do with it. Like, it was like, it feels like things are going to move ahead. They're going to move ahead. There must be a lot of preparation going on behind some type of scene. Yeah, and you'll have to make a decision. Okay. Like, the energy feels like whoever gets presented with this, it's going to be like, it's overwhelming. It's going to hit you in the chest. Anywho, all right, I've got to hop off of here. I hope whoever that's meant for finds it. Y'all have a fantastic and wonderful day.